welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 29th January 2025. So let's get started with our discussion, and most of the articles are like repeated articles. For example, in yesterday's class we discussed about this Guillain-Barré syndrome, and in our first page there is a news regarding stampede in this Mahakumbh Mela, and also there is one article regarding ASI survey. Okay, that is anthropological survey, ANSI survey regarding notified and denotified tribes. That thing we discussed earlier. And even regarding Trump 2.0 era, so how it will be regarding foreign policy. So all these topics they are already we discussed in our earlier classes, so I am not going to see those once again. So just revise your earlier notes. Apart from that, there are other articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. We are going to see that. So let us see the first article and see the title, guys. Modi likely to visit US to deepen strategic relations, says Trump. So this article is talking about what? India-US relations. It is talking about India-US relations. So this article is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations, and it comes under part of your bilateral relations. Okay, so this article is saying that our Prime Minister is going to visit US in month of February. So in month of February, our Prime Minister is going to visit US, and in this he want to come up with some agreements, and we are going to have some talks. Okay, so here what you have to see is in which areas we are going to improve our agreements, or like how we are going to improve our bilateral relations. So this is the topic of the day. And next one is, here you have to see about future of India-US foreign policy. It is important. And even you have to see about which are the areas of cooperation between India and US, and you have to see what are the challenges. Okay, and even you can see one more area where India and US, they are part of groupings, for example Quad. Okay, like that, in which area or in which organizations India and US they are part of. So see that also. Okay, now let us see what this article is about. So US President has announced that Indian Prime Minister is expected to visit Washington in February, and they are going to have some agreements and key important strategic talks in this meet. Okay, now let us see the key points which are given in this article. So first one is, whenever our Prime Minister is visiting this US, then we can understand that what is the primary reason behind this visit. Obviously we have to improve our bilateral relations. Okay, so this visit of our Prime Minister to Washington, which signifies the commitment from both the leaders, we are focusing or enhancing on our US-India relations, and especially we are going to address this global security challenges. And second important one here is, we need to improve the trade. Okay, so fair bilateral negotiations can be happen in this visit. Okay, and next important point here is, yes, obviously the common area of interest of India and US is Indo-Pacific region. So we are also going to improve security in this region. On this also we may have some discussion. That means if you understand about this Indo-Pacific region, why US is showing interest, and one more common interest here is to counter China's aggressive expansionist policy. And next one here is, so in this way here we can understand that so US-India relation, they are having a common point in geopolitics as well. And even we are focusing on strategies to counter China's influence in this region. And even as I said, India and US, they are part of Quad. Okay, and even these Quad leaders, they mark a significant diplomatic achievement for India. And even we can focus on regional security discussions, okay, because India is a key player in Indo-Pacific region. And next one here is Trump in this 2.0 era. So he wants to focus on American industries. That is nothing but protectionist policy of America. So whenever they came up with this protectionist policy of America, and they will impose tariffs on their imports, so that the countries which are exporting the goods to US will be getting affected. Okay, so here we are also focusing on tariffs as well. And as you all know that the status, that is generalized preferences for India, had been removed. So again we will be asking regarding that, to keep India under this generalized preference of tariffs. And next one here is, even H1B visa will be also impacting India a lot. And even recently the first sign which made by Trump in this 2.0 era is to deport illegal migrants. So especially there are more than 18,000 Indians who are illegally living in this US. So deportation already had been started. So it will be having impact on Indian diaspora. So this will be also one area of concern they are going to talk about. And even they are focusing on commitment to work towards global peace, security, etc. And next one here is, what are the future collaborations like immigration policies, visa policies, and as well as students who are going to this US for getting higher studies. So everything will be discussed, so that here we can improve furthermore bilateral relations between India and US. So all these are the things that which are given in this article. And now let us see next article. Title says, China's DeepSeek jolts tech world with a lean, mean AI model. So this article is talking about DeepSeek. DeepSeek is nothing but AI model of China. So as you all know that now we are using different AI tools. For example, ChatGPT, OpenAI, right? So they are belonging to US. So here China came up with this DeepSeek. Actually Chinese came up with this DeepSeek company in year 2023 itself, and now it launched a new technology. So because of this technology, this especially the stock markets had been fell down by 3%. Especially US is going to impact a lot because of this new AI tool of DeepSeek. So because of this is the news, and you have to see what is this DeepSeek. And you may get a question in your prelims regarding recently DeepSeek is the news. What is it? Okay, so this article is important from your GS paper 3 under Science and Technology. And even it is important from GS paper 3 under Economy point of view also. So from these two subjects point of view, it is important. And here you have to see what is this DeepSeek, what are the important features of this DeepSeek, and how it is affecting global economy. And you have to see about why it is affordable and as well as cheap compared to that of OpenAI and as well as ChatGPT. So these are the things that you have to focus on. Okay, now let us see here a new player in artificial intelligence race. That is nothing but China's startup is called as DeepSeek, which created a buzz in global tech circles. And actually it launched a cutting edge AI models. And these models, they are matching with the capabilities of top industry of US, and even they are more affordable compared to that of US companies' AI tools. So because of this is the news. So what is DeepSeek? DeepSeek, it is a Chinese AI company, and it has developed as a powerful intelligence system, that is artificial intelligence system, and that model is called as R1 model. And this model, which is designed to complete tasks like it will be doing reasoning, coding and mathematics, and achieves performance which is comparable to that of AI models like OpenAI. Okay. So especially if you see this DeepSeek R1, which is developed using pure reinforcement learning, and even there is no need of giving some supervised data to solve that. So this is one most advantageous. And OpenAI's best models like ChatGPT, like they have shown skills which are comparable to that of this DeepSeek R1 model. And even this DeepSeek's R1 model is strong compared to that of ChatGPT, and even it is an open source, can be used by everyone. And actually if you want to go for upgrading of this, there is lesser price compared to that of ChatGPT. So because of this, it is affecting mainly global Sensex. Okay, now let us see the next topic. The budget pipeline and India's foreign policy ambitions. So this article is talking about our budget. So on every year on February 1st, so this budget will be introduced. And this budget is nothing but which ministry is allotted which amount of money, that is called as budget. So this article is talking about Ministry of External Affairs budget. Okay, so this article is talking about Ministry of External Affairs budget. So normally, so this Ministry of External Affairs is overlooked. When we are comparing to that of Defense Ministry or Finance Ministry or any other ministry, they will be getting good budgetary allotments compared to that of Ministry of External Affairs. But this year, the budget of this had been increased. Okay, so the budget of this Ministry of External Affairs had been increased because this year we have to focus on better foreign policy. So here this article said that, so how our foreign policy of this 2025 will be. So for that, how much amount of budget we required. Okay, so all these things which are given in this article. So this article is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations, where we will be seeing about India's foreign policy regarding different countries. So what is the meaning of foreign policy? Foreign policy is nothing but it is a guiding principles of a country, like how they have to maintain relationship with other countries. It is called as foreign policy. Like we will be having separate foreign policy towards USA, separate foreign policy towards Israel, separate foreign policy towards Russia, like that. Okay. So here for different foreign policy, and even you know that India is playing a leader role in this global south. So we need good allotment of funds for this Ministry of External Affairs. That is the thing which mainly said. And now let us see those clearly. So union budget allocation for India's Ministry of External Affairs is often overlooked when we are comparing with other sectors. For example, taxation, infrastructure, economy, defense, they will be getting more budget allocations and compared to that of our Ministry of External Affairs. So here this Ministry of External Affairs budget which reflects our Indian foreign policy ambitions and as well as global commitments. So finally this year there is increasing of budget for this Ministry of External Affairs, that is around 23% of increase. Okay, 23% of budget increase. But if you see overall expenditure of our India, so it contributes only 0.4% of India's total expenditure which they are spending on this Ministry of External Affairs. So if you see some important details, it says that, so Ministry of External Affairs budget directly correlates with India's ambitions on the global stage. And India wants to be the leader of this global south, and India wants to enhance its influence in the different regions. So for this, good funding is very, very important. And if you are seeing the current allocations, we are having a very shortfall of funds, so that we are not supporting these goals. So we have to go for re-evaluation of our budget priorities, and here Ministry of External Affairs need to get good chunk of this funds. So this is the first point which mainly said. And next one here is every year this Ministry of External Affairs budget will constitute only 0.4% of our national budgets, not even 1%, right? So because of this, it is having the limitation on the government that foreign policy to compare to that of other areas such as defense and infrastructure, if you are comparing with them, so it is getting very less funding. So because of this, our India's project power and our India's influence internationally, especially in the world where soft power and diplomacy are increasingly important, so we are not achieving proper targets. Why we are not achieving proper targets in this foreign policy? It is because of less funding in this Ministry of External Affairs. And next one is here, Ministry of External Affairs need to develop stronger economic tools. So whenever we are having stronger economic tools, we can go for better national integration and as well as better cooperation, and economic partnership is very important to build a foreign policy. So that is the thing which mainly said. And next one here is, if any country which is having any disaster or any economic crisis, so if you want to show the soft power, you have to give the grants. So for that we need to have the good funding. And next one here is, India is also facing some regional challenges like with our immediate neighborhood. For example, in Myanmar there is no stability, and even in Bangladesh also there is no political stability. So because of this we are going to get some challenges. If you want to fight against those challenges, obviously we need to allocate good chunk of money. And next one here is we have to focus on even policy and development, especially policy relevant research is very important for informed decision making. And even we need to have Indian foreign service, that too very strong Indian foreign services that you are opting for. And even we need to have good research institutions so that we can have better diplomatic effectiveness. And next one here is we have to focus on even digitization as well as record keeping. So here because of this it is very helpful for ensuring transparency and as well as historical accountability as well. So for all these things to be done, for the better foreign policy of our country, obviously we need good funds. That is the thing which mainly said by this article. Okay, now let us see the next article. It is about Guillain-Barré syndrome. Okay, a question of hygiene. So actually I said that one guy in Maharashtra, Pune died because of this GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome. So actually the important cause of this is infection. So they are going for studying of what is the suspected cause of this GBS syndrome in this Pune, and they found that a bacterial infection which caused it, and the name of that bacteria is Campylobacter jejuni, and it is found in contaminated food and as well as contaminated water. And especially people who are getting this syndrome, they are showing some initial signs and symptoms like gastroenteritis, vomitings, diarrhea, nausea before onsetting of this numbing of this GBS. Okay. So here one more thing they said that, yeah. So here in this area they said about what is this GBS, that is Guillain-Barré syndrome. It is a rare autoimmune neurological disorder. So here it will be affecting peripheral nervous system, that will lead to tingling, weakening of muscles, numbing, paralysis of arms and legs. Okay, and next one here is it is caused by viral or bacterial or pre-infections. So it is said by WHO. And normally every year like 1 to 2 people out of 1 lakh population, they will be getting this infection. Okay, and here in this paragraph they said about what can be done regarding treatment and as well as a civil servant what steps you can take. So for example, here we can go for treatment called as plasma exchange, or like we can go for IV immunoglobulin therapy. Okay, so these are the 2 effective therapies that can be used. And apart from this, actually this is one important cause is bacterial infection through contaminated food and contaminated water. So we have to go for collecting of water samples, and we have to go for proper surveillance and monitoring, and we have to take some steps for enhancing or providing clean drinking water to all residents, and we have to ensure them that they are getting proper awareness about this disease, and even we have to avoid contaminated and as well as unhygienic food. So this is about this topic, and see once. So just this paragraph, this 3 to 4 lines here and here this part, and if you see this conclusion part, then this is more than enough guys for you, and try to make a notes of it. Okay, now let us see the next article. So next article it is ISRO 100th mission live updates. So actually ISRO launched its 100th mission, and it is the first mission 2025. So this is have the most significance, and actually this had been launched from this GSLV F-15, and let us see the facts. So this mission is regarding NAVIC. So you have to know about what is NAVIC and what is this present satellite, okay, everything that you have to know. So if you see the context, it says that ISRO achieved a significant milestone, that is launching of 100th mission. So in that 100th mission, so they said that next generation navigation satellite. So they sent navigation satellite into orbit from Sriharikota. So if you see the details of that satellite, that name is NVS-02, and NVS-02 number itself is saying that it is second satellite in the series of navigation satellites, and it is a 9th satellite in this NAVIC. Normally in NAVIC we have only 7 satellites, but to replace these satellites we are sending other satellites, and this is the second series. So because of this it becomes 9th. Before this NVS-2 they launched NVS-01, okay, and now we have NVS-02. So here normally NAVIC consists of like 7 satellites. They are first generation satellites, and to replace these first generation satellites, we are sending now second generation satellites, and so far we replaced 2 satellites in this NAVIC 7. So first one is NVS-01, next one is NVS-02. Okay, now they used this GSLV Mark II satellites, and this NVS-02, which is having 2 kinds of payloads. So one payload is like navigation payload, which will be sending signals to the receivers, and here ranging payload is nothing but it will be acting as a transponder. Okay, so if you see some facts regarding this NAVIC, it is nothing but navigation with Indian constellation. It is independent stand-alone navigation satellite system of India. So here for GPS services now we will use NAVIC. Okay, and earlier it is known as IRNS, that is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, and this NAVIC which consists of constellation of 7 satellites, and these 7 satellites they are located in geostationary orbit, and remaining 4 they are located in this geosynchronous orbit. And actually we are sending this NVS-02, that is to replace this IRNS SS1G satellite, which is already part of this first generation. So we are sending that to replace that. Okay, so that is the thing. So these are the some important articles. Apart from this, as I said, there are some articles regarding this nomadic, semi-nomadic tribes which had been identified by this Anthropological Survey of India, that is one news, and even there are some editorials regarding USA, that is Trump 2.0 era, and one is about budget, I said. Okay, so these are the things which I found which are very much relevant. And see about this stampede, what are the causes regarding the stampede in this Uttar Pradesh, and next see about some facts regarding this Mahakumbh Mela. That's it. Okay. So these are some important topics which happened in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. Don't forget.